guys! So I made this calendar setup design in the beginning of April, which I know has passed already, but I figured that I should still share my process to provide calendar setup inspiration and tips that could be used any month of the year. So let's get started. What I did first is I used pencil to sketch out my main focal artwork of the page, which is this flower. I definitely prefer sketching my artwork first, then later working around my art. That way I'm not constrained to a certain space when designing the main art focal point. So then I had to do some measuring for making all the squares in my calendar in equal size. But that's one of the cool things about dot grid journals, I think, is that with some simple math you can draw so many things. Okay, and so what I do with my lettering for a lot of things is whenever I don't just want to do just the regular block letters or something like that, I like to go on dafont.com or a font website and go to their top fonts and then do a preview, like type in the word that I want. So in this case I typed in April and I looked through the fonts that I liked and I chose one and kind of went by that and then free drew that onto my page. And if I really like a font and if I want to use it for like a spread or something like that, I try to either buy the font or I try to look for fonts that are completely free. So now I'm just trying to draw straight lines. If you want to get better at drawing straight lines, I would suggest always pushing the pen against you and not towards you, because if you draw lines towards you, the natural curve of your wrist will not work in your favor. Another tip I learned for drawing straight lines that I actually learned from my high school art teacher was to take a breath. And when you breathe out, that's when you want to draw the line, and that will really help you draw straight lines every time. Okay, so now I will start coloring in my flower, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a black outline around it or not, but either way I'm going to kind of erase some of the marks. That way the pencil definitely doesn't come through or anything. So I'm gonna erase some of them, because sometimes after you paint on top of your pencil and then you want to erase afterwards, you just can't, because you can't rub on top of that marker or paint because it'll just tear the papers. So now I'm coloring in this leaf black to kind of give the yellow a little bit of contrast. So before I go any further, I'm going to go over the yellow once more. I'm using the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens, which can be layered for your desired transparency, which I think is really cool. But with this flower, I want it to be as opaque as it can be. And I'm gonna put a link of these pens down in the description so that you know which ones I'm talking about. So while that is drying, I'm going to be making the important dates list, and I think for that I'm going to just come down here and make a rectangle like so. And then for this, I think I want to do some kind of like ribbon title. So now I am going to just outline the whole thing in ink, and I'm going to be putting some hatching on the back of this ribbon to give it some shadow. And if you want to learn more about ink work and some tips that I follow for my ink work, I have a video on that you could watch where I talk about hatching as well. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a little note about it. So now I am finishing my flower with my ink brush pen. And you know, it kind of feels good to draw such a free-flowing shape on here, on such a kind of perfect grid, somewhere that you'd expect to make, you know, very geometric, perfect shapes. It's nice to draw something kind of organic and free-flowing. Kind of feels peaceful because with a free-flowing design like this, you kind of can't make mistakes because it all kind of just looks like it was on purpose. So that's something I like about this kind of drawing. I made a little key down here to say what days I've uploaded, what days I'm busy, and I've decided that I want to upload YouTube videos every Friday, so I definitely had to put that on the calendar. So now I am just going through and filling it in. So that is pretty much it on my April calendar page design. If you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more art videos every Friday. And if you have any requests on bullet journal pages that you would like to see me design, I'd love to read your suggestions. Until next time.